to. You know, it's been a very busy first year for Molly Rainford since joining EastEnders, and tomorrow night, her character Anna will find herself at the centre of a new storyline involving spiking drinks. And Molly joins me now, and this is a huge problem, Molly, isn't it? I'm not surprised that EastEnders are tackling it. I'm glad that they are.
Yeah, me too. I mean, when Chris told me about the storyline, I was really excited because, you know, I know it's something that happens to everyone, women, men, young people, sure. But I feel like my age group, it is so rife.
Yeah.
So the fact that, you know, people can see someone their age in this kind of similar position to them going through it and what to look out for, I think is so important.
Oh, absolutely. You must, as you always do, research into this, talking to charities, talking to people who very sadly have gone through this. And that obviously, you know, for you, you've got to get it right, isn't it?
Absolutely.
There's that pressure because this is real.
Yeah, and I feel like the one thing Soaps and EastEnders does so well is they really, really research into what they're bringing out when it's something so close to home. And I feel like for me, you know, I found it really hard to research, actually, because a lot of people, when they've been through spiking themselves, you know, they can't remember.
Of course.
Or it's, you know, it's the unknown. It's usually down to the people around them kind of recalling what happened that gives them that kind of memory back. And, yeah, no, I feel sad for saying it, but I kind of feel lucky in a way that I haven't gone through that. But I know so many people it has.
And it's so sad that you've got to think about things like that.
I know.
You've got to make sure that, you know, if you go to the loo, take your drink with you, or make sure your friends are looking out for you, and all of these things to protect yourself.
Yeah, it's
you
such a shame.
Have to.
No, you have to be so vigilant now. And I feel like it's such a shame because, you know, these places, like, for example, Anna, she's in her parents' friend's bar with her sister and her best friends. And it's just, it should be, you know, the best place for her to have gone and be safe and feel, you know, comfortable. And unfortunately, that's how it is.
No, and in many ways, to get it to the real, you know, people who this is affecting, the younger people who this is affecting, you're doing a brilliant thing. You're doing a spin-off, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's so lovely. On Soaps, you know, we're always covering so many different stories at one time.
True.
So the fact that we can dive into kind of the POV of the night that they go on via social media, which, again, reaches that audience that we're speaking to.
It's a really good idea.
Yeah, it just feels like really great. I mean, I'm so excited for people to be able to see that little extra layer and kind of see it from, you know, Anna's POV.
Sure.
And, you know, like anyone, when I'm on a night out, I like to take a few videos and snaps, and that ends up, you know, being really helpful.
No, it's great, so we can see that online.
Yes.
There'll be, like, what, 5 episodes? We can see that online?
Yes.
Great. That's brilliant. It really is, Molly. That's going to help ever such a lot. And, of course, Anna, your character, her family run the Queen Vic. Colin Salmon is your dad.
Yes.
I mean, can you just give him the biggest cuddle from me? I think he's wonderful. He's absolutely brilliant. Must be great to be, though, in the Vic, because that's where everything happens.
Do you know what?
You can react with all the different characters.
Do you know what? That was the best part for me. I mean, you know, there's a few bucket list things that you want to tick off when you do EastEnders, and being in the Vic is definitely up there. And I feel like the cards I've been dealt on the show has been amazing. Like, I've got the best family, you know, the best mentors around me, and it's been so great. And what a year, you know, they're really up the top, women best soap, and it's great.
Good. It's a great time to be there.
Yeah,
of course it is.
yeah.
But you want to be there for a while.
Yeah.
I can see that. I can see her being in the, you know, you never know what's going to happen in the Queen Vic. I mean, it could change hands tomorrow.
You know, there's so many legends on the show, you know. I'd love to be a part of that mix.
Great. And life is good.
Yes.
Can we talk about my adopted son, Tyler?
Yes.
Because you two, how long have you been going out with each other now? It's a while now, isn't
it? Well over a year now.
Well over a year, that's great. That's really good. Moved in together, you're together. You're kind of talking about bringing out some songs together, perhaps some music,
Well, we both love music so much.
Of course.
And so inevitably we were going to, you know, be DJing in the house and all this stuff. And yeah, so we decided to jump in the studio, so fingers crossed.
Well, I cannot wait for that. Can you let me hear it before anybody? I feel very privileged. Now, look, Strictly Come Dancing has had a load of drama, and we're going to talk about that later on. You know, we'll talk about that with Lucy. But for you and for Tyler, it was a great experience, wasn't it? You and Carlos are still really good mates.
I know. I love the goo. Honestly, like, I had the best time.
The goo.
I know. He's the goo to me, like strictly the goo. But I'm so glad that I was partnered with him, and I'm so glad that I met Tyler. And I've made friends with so many people from the show. And, like, we were just a really tight-knit group, and, yeah, I'm very lucky that, you know.
And still dancing.
Yes.
Do you and Tyler dance?
All
Do you
the
dance?
time.
Because you know you love music so much, and I've just got this image of you dancing in your kitchen and just living your best life.
Yeah, no, we're always dancing. I mean, usually it's a bit more of just a two-step than a waltz, I would say, but we do love a salsa.
Look at this. This is great.
There you go, a bit of salsa.
Fantastic. It really is. And does he help you, like, because you know what? It's really one of the toughest things I would imagine, I could never do it, is learning your lines, getting all that information in your head. 'Cause it's a lot, isn't it? It's a lot. Does he play all the characters with you?
Absolutely.
Does he?
And he really does try with the voices, you know. He's got very good Phil Mitchell going on. But yeah, he gets really into it. He does.
Oh, it's fantastic. I can't wait. That would be hilarious. But great to have that support, though.
Yes.
Both of you support each other. Of course you do.
It's so nice to, like, be with someone who, you know, knows how this industry works, knows, you know, about the busy schedules and the different, you know, unsociable hours and all this stuff.
Sure.
And we feel very lucky that, you know, we've got each other to lean on.
Especially now, because it's a tough, intense time. I mean, it's brilliant. I know you love it.
Yes.
But it is pretty intense. And, you know, Hilary's here, and Hilary, we've been talking about this storyline. And it's a terrible thing, because I had to say that to Rosie when she got back from Singapore. You know, we've talked about this, Hilary, about how you have to sit down with your kids sometimes and tell them to be careful.
Yeah, it's a really good storyline, Molly. It really is important. It's so much more on the increase. So things to look for would be rapid loss of inhibitions, visual problems, nausea, vomiting, confusion, loss of balance. And if you are feeling like that, or someone you know is feeling like that, don't leave them, stay with them. Only go to some trusted person like the manager, a bouncer or a security guard. Inform the police. You can go to A&E, but don't let them go home on their own. Don't leave them out of your sight. Get it reported and get them the care that they need, because it's really important. They use all sorts of things which are odourless, tasteless and colourless. You won't know that your drink has been spiked until it starts to hit you. So just be vigilant. You can get stoppers for your bottle if you don't leave your drink alone. And also you can buy testers, but they're not that reliable because they only test for certain drugs, not for all sorts of drugs that are being used right now. It is on the increase. It makes people very vulnerable and unsafe, so be vigilant.
Yeah, thank you, Hilary, and thank you for doing this storyline. I can't wait to see that, and also the spin-off as well. What kind of disgusting person does that to somebody? Baffled I am. Thank you so much. Great to see you.
And you.
Right, EastEnders, of course, continues tonight, 7:30.